Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of the 5-Minute Podcast. We're going to be talking about Star Wars, the unfortunate events that are happening right now with the Acolyte, and why is this really happening with Star Wars, considering that, you know, for years we've been getting the prequels, the originals, like what is happening with Star Wars? And I just wanted to talk a little bit about that and to actually say that Star Wars right now is really not Star Wars anymore. And I know a lot of people have their own opinions about it. You know, a lot of people like the Acolyte. I'm not saying anything about that. A lot of people don't like the Acolyte, and I totally get it. I've been burned before as well. But to be honest, I want to pose this question. What is really happening with Star Wars? What's missing from Star Wars? And the answer to that, I think that Star Wars is not controlled by one person anymore. It's not independent anymore. And when George Lucas had it, it was much more free, where you can do anything. Especially with the expanded universe, he really didn't care about the expanded universe, even though he decided to keep it away, but also kind of let people explore other stories in that world. And I think that not having the creators be restricted to only that canon, I think it was a lot better than what it is right now, because right now there's a canon that is, creators are only following that canon. They're not going outside of it. They're not going like, okay, let's create an Elseworld story like the expanded universe. So I think that's kind of the problem, where back then it was more independent. Now it's a corporation where everybody has ideas, everybody is coming up with ideas and all that stuff. There's a lot of heads at the table that are throwing out ideas, trying to see what works, trying to see what doesn't work. And I think that is hurting Star Wars a lot more, because it's now kind of restricted to one thing, where it's like, okay, now you gotta follow this vision and this vision only. I think right now it's not at its peak, because of the fact that we have a leader, which is Kathleen Kennedy, and respect to her as well. But right now, she's not doing anything to make the Star Wars franchise cool. It's not something that, and I mean, you know, of course you can have Andor, you can have these slow-paced shows, but at the same time, you got to give the fans what they want. And a lot of fans are saying, hey, I want the Old Republic, I want things from the expanded universe. You really need to put the fans first, and I don't think that she's doing that. I think that she's only trying to get writers to create their own stuff instead of actually creating something that's for the fans. She's not doing the best job of creating a universe that can flourish in the future. And those are my thoughts. Back then it was more independent, but considering it's a corporation where everybody is pitching in ideas and all that stuff, now it's like, it's for everybody. Now it's for everybody, because they don't really know what they're doing with the franchise. They don't know what Star Wars is. So even though it's Lucasfilm, it's not the same people that created the original trilogy or created the prequel trilogy. It's different people trying to imitate what Star Wars was, instead of actually creating Star Wars stories. So yeah, those are my thoughts. What do you guys think about it? This was the 5-Minute Podcast, where I talk about anything that's on my mind. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Is Star Wars what it used to be? What do you think? What are your opinions about Star Wars right now? Do you hate it? Do you like it? Do you want something different? Do you want a new story? Do you want the Old Republic? I don't know. Like, what do you want from Star Wars right now? Tell me in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.